Buenas and half a day, I'm Mayana Shed here with a new edition of Welcome Home. For this month's episode, we crash the waves and learn ways to protect one of Guam's greatest natural features, the ocean. We'll first meet up with program leader Fran Castro and biologist Josefa Munoz from the Sea Grant program to discuss ways to reduce the destruction of our reefs, as well as tips to reach towards sustainability. We continue our deep dive into the coral reef protection as we attend the Pacific Islands Environment Conference with the Director, Bureau of Statistics and Plans, Tyrone Taitano, and Assistant Professor of Geography, Dr. Ramina King. And as always, we'll be touring 3 homes for rent or purchase with Ellie from Remax Realty Group. So stick around because Welcome Home begins shortly. Welcome back, everyone. We begin our sea adventure by visiting the team at the Sea Grant program to talk about ways to protect the coral reef, the precious creatures who call it home, and ways to reduce pollution of the ocean from your very own home. Let's hear them out.
My name is Fran Castro, and I am the program leader for the Sea Grant program here at the University of Guam. The Sea Grant program is just one program, but it has like a lot of activities underneath it. We have watershed restoration work. We do a lot of research. We do a lot of outreach and campaigns, educational campaigns. We coordinate a lot of workshops and conferences, as the CIS conference just concluded. So there's a lot of activities. There's summer internships, there's fellowships, and we're now launching a new competitive research program that would hopefully bring us to the institutional level, which is the next level up in the Sea Grant world. So Sea Grant here on Guam started in 2008 here at the university, and then we became a coherent area program in 2012, which we are still a coherent area program. And that kind of authorizes us to do Sea Grant activities here on Guam with Sea Grant funding. And then the next level that we're working towards is the institutional level, and we hope to achieve that in the next couple of years. And so that brings us up to a higher level with a bigger budget. So we're going to have more resources to hire more people and maybe do more projects and research and education and things like that. And so we have some staff, and they're called the Extension Associates, and they go out and then they bring the science from the university and the research from Sea Grant out to the communities so that they're knowledgeable about what's going on here on Guam.
My name is Josefa Munoz, and I'm a sea turtle biologist here at the University of Guam Sea Grant program. I like working at Sea Grant because I can be the researcher that's out there in the field, gathering the data, getting to know the environment, and being out there seeing all of the threats, like for example, that the sea turtles face. So I'm very hands-on with the research here. But what gives more strength to that is I'm also the researcher that goes out into the community to tell our people and empower them with the knowledge, this is going on in your environment, and this is what you can do about it.
We're surrounded by water, and we do a lot of work with coral reefs and watersheds, and they all link together. It's like a rich to reef activities that we do around here. So anything that we're engaged in, it kind of involves ocean, marine, terrestrial, watersheds, things like that, and they all link up. So that's why it's important. And we want the community to also learn more about what's going on in the environment. And so, this is the way for us to really get the word out, do the research, and then bring the information to them.
Stick to the basics, save energy where you can, save water where you can, and just practice an everyday sustainable lifestyle, especially here on Guam, right? We're in an island, and it's most important that because we're on an island that we be most sustainable. So while you're here in Guam, in your home, also practice sustainable habits. So just like you don't forget your phone, don't forget your reusable products that you can bring when you're enjoying the lifestyle here on Guam. So it's very important when you go to the beach to keep our ocean clean, right? We don't want our sea turtles to be eating plastic or, being harmed by drifting ropes or nets. Also, it's important to do not start ground fires. Our baby sea turtles, once they come out of their nest, they'll travel to the brightest light, so we wouldn't want our sea turtles to travel towards a fire pit if it was there on the beach. It's also important to not drive on the beach because our sea turtle babies can get stuck in the ridges left by the tire ruts. And also the weight of the cars, if they go over a nest, that can compact the eggs. Just look out for our sea turtles. When you're at the beach, when you're there, try challenging yourself to pick up at least 3 pieces of trash, so that way you're helping your environment, but you're still living that nice beach lifestyle.
Kapade Guam, this is Ali from Remax Realty Group. Today we'll be featuring 3 awesome spaces, one of which is this Alupan Cove. We have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo with awesome amenities. First of which is the pool. Then we also have the mailboxes, and then we also have beautiful beachfront view. Instead of talking about it, let's just go take a look.
Before entering the house, there's an open space between the hallway and front door. Perfect for placing shoes, toys for the kids, or maybe a chair to use for taking in the day or nighttime air. Either way, it's a good prelude for what's to come next. Once you enter, you're introduced to a massive living space stretching as far as the eye can see. To the left of the entrance is a kitchen area with cabinets, sink, window, stove, and fridge. Rounding it off is a long countertop table that not only divides the kitchen from the living room, but is perfect for prepping food. And with the fridge right next to it, that shouldn't be a problem. To the right of the kitchen is the first bedroom. Very cozy and welcoming with a light fixture on its furthest wall and closet space. It even has its own bathroom across from it. We then see a wide open space that acts as the home's living room that stretches all the way to the balcony that displays quite a lovely ocean view. And finally, beyond the sliding door covered with curtains is the master bedroom. Just like everything else in the home, it's comfy, spacious, and quaint. But that's not all that comes with this home, as you have many wonderful amenities, from a pool area with small pavilions surrounding it, making it a great place for parties, to the beachfront that presents a stellar view, especially when the sun sets. This Alupan Cove condo has it all.
Thank you for staying tuned to Welcome Home. After we met with the team from the Sea Grant program, we now head to the Hyatt Regency Hotel to attend the Pacific Islands Environment Conference, a gathering of leaders from across the world to discuss issues plaguing the Pacific and its people. One of the topics discussed was coral reefs. Let's check it out.
My name is Tyrone Titano. I'm Director of the Bureau of Statistics and Plans. Well, the Bureau is working with our partners of the Guam Environmental Protection Agency and helping to organize this conference. The principal area which we are staffing is the Coral Reef Symposium, which begins today and examines the whole issue of coral reefs, but also the broader agenda of the Pacific Islands Environmental Conference is also very much in line with the Bureau's own mission, which is a land use planning and community planning for the community, because although it's entitled Pacific Islands Environmental Conference, it's about more than just the Pacific Islands and more than about the environment. It's about sustainability, the sustainability of our communities. And so the broad range of topics reach not just coral reefs, but things dealing with zero waste and dealing with other options, help speak to the challenge before the entire community in terms of planning and in terms of the development of how we want you to do a development and progress in a way that provides for a sustainable community that conserves the vital resources, both cultural and environmental resources, that are so much of a part of the heritage of the people of Guam. One element of it that we in the Bureau focus on as part of the Coral Reef Initiative Program is the state of our coral reefs. Reefs worldwide are under assault. In Guam's case here, we've lost 30% of the shallow coral reefs in just the last decade. For 5 of the last 6 years, we've had major coral bleaching events, which is unprecedented globally. No other area in the entire planet has suffered the bleaching events we have. These are a consequence of primarily climate change. Warming waters help produce those events. And so in response, Governor Leonard has directed the establishment of a new coral reef resiliency strategy. She signed an executive order 2 months ago that set up a cabinet-level working group that was chaired by my colleague, the Director of Agriculture, to review the coral reef resiliency strategy that had been developed by the Bureau, working with federal partners and private sector partners and interested citizens in coming up with a strategy to build resiliency in our coral reefs for not only the challenges that are affecting it now, but in the future. And we are today at the Coral Reef Symposium, she will be signing a new executive order that will implement the Guam's new coral reef resiliency strategy. At the heart of it is setting up a focus on things that are important to consider when maintaining the value of the coral reefs, including recreational tourism-related activities here, fisheries management, things dealing with terrestrial threats, basically sediment runoffs, direct management of the coral reefs from the waters, but also in building resiliency and recognizing the challenge of climate change and how it affects the coral reefs. Now, the coral reefs, everyone sort of treasures for its natural beauty here. But speaking to the larger theme of this conference, it's also an integral part of the sustainability of our community here. It serves so many purposes, particularly for a tourism-based economy, which is ours, which is based on our natural beauty. It's also important because reefs are habitats to a number of important fisheries, so that's important to our fishing industry. And also, it's a great protection against surges and protecting our coastal communities. There's actually, nationally, has been a move on agencies such as the Federal Emergency Management Agency and other agencies to start recognizing coral reefs as natural infrastructure, just as important as roads or anything that's man-made and constructed here. And so a lot of the effort is in dealing with coral reefs is also to protect coastal communities. Although the Bureau has developed a coral reef resiliency strategy, and although the Department of Agriculture is actually going to be the lead agency in driving that strategy, it really is a collaborative approach that involves a number of government agencies, but beyond the government agencies also involves our federal partners, like the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration Office, like the Coast Guard. It involves private sector participants, who have contributed a great deal in creating this resiliency strategy, and involves private citizens. So a lot of what will be done is not only just mobilizing public and private resources, but mobilizing a community. And that's really the only true path forward to actually dealing with this. No one agency, no one group can do it by itself here. As we develop new policies here, things that take advantage of the green economy and green materials, that it require a public policy change. Well, this is a democracy where the voice of every citizen is important and is valuable. And so for some people who may think that their voice doesn't matter, trust me, it matters. There are like several members of the legislature that began their previous lives as activists, and because of that, the people of Guam rallied to them and got them elected to the legislature because of their concern, because of their activism. So step up to the plate. There's more than enough work for everyone to participate, and this is the time for us to all to get involved here, because what's at stake here is not just the life of our community and the prospects for economic growth. What is at stake here is the sustainability of our community. Our responsibility of this generation to pass on the environmental heritage that we've enjoyed to future generations. And that's not just an opportunity. In my perspective, it's a duty to all of us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Romina King, and I'm an assistant professor of geography at the University of Guam. And the other hat I wear is I am the lead for the Pacific Islands Climate Adaptation Science Center for the university. When I was a NOAA Coral Reef Management Fellow back in 2006 and 2007, I developed a program called Guardians of the Reef. And so Guardians of the Reef has grown exponentially, and I am just amazed at it. So I am just co-presenting with my colleague, Miss Linda Tatrow, from Marine Mania. She's a retired teacher from George Washington High School, and she will be co-presenting with me as well as 2 former Guardians of the Reef and 2 third graders who were affected by the Guardian of the Reef experience. So the Guardians of the Reef was this sort of twist on the model of outreach and education at the time. So in 2006 and 2007, we usually had people talking at us. So it would be these grown-ups or these officials with their talking heads, you know, telling us this is important, this is important. And so when I was a NOAA Coral Reef Fellow, one of my missions was, okay, how can I help better education and outreach? And so when I was in 3rd grade, I experienced this program called DARE. And basically it was high school students coming in to visit my classroom to talk to us about how horrible drugs were. And it just stuck with me because we idolized the high school students, and and here they were. And I remember being like, oh, I want to be just like them, And so I kind of took that and I applied it to Guardians of the Reef. So what it is, it's juniors and seniors from high school that create unique tailored presentations for 3rd graders. They practice those presentations and include a fun activity like making a polypad or writing a song, and then they go out and meet with the 3rd grade classrooms and kind of give these presentations to the 3rd grade classrooms. So it's a really simple idea, but it really kind of turned the whole model of outreach and education around, that now you have peer-to-peer outreach and education. But if I was going to say how to promote sustainability here, you want to start eating locally, buying locally. Other things that we can do is reduce our use of plastic. And start recycling. I know these are messages that are constantly repeated, but coral reefs do face a lot of threats, and some of those threats we don't have control over, like climate change. We don't have control over the sea surface temperature, especially as residents of the tiny islands, or ocean acidification. But what we do have control over are the human stresses that we put on the coral reef. So maybe just reduce over-harvesting of the reef fish and the marine organisms. Don't step on the coral because they're animals and they're not rocks. Other things is, just try to reduce our use of plastic and recycle plastic. And again, really supporting our local agriculture and local businesses.
Well, there are websites for the Guam Environmental Protection Agency and as well as the Department of Agriculture. The Bureau of Statistics and Plans has 2 Facebook pages. One's on the Coral Reef Initiative program and one on the Guam Coastal Zone Management Program, which deals with land use planning, but also dealings with a lot of these environmental issues, including erosion and flood control. And so there are, of course, a number of academic institutions that are involved in this effort, including the Center for Sustainability and the Marine Lab, which have their own Facebook pages. And one of the great advantages for living on an island as special as Guam is that we're a small community, and there's the ability to make connections with other people is actually far greater here than in a lot of other size of communities. I think one of the things that as private citizens have is the ability to connect with their leaders in positions of authority, such as agency heads such as mine here. All too often in larger urban environments here, they're only people you know from the pictures you see on TV or the print stuff you read in newspapers. Here you're likely great access to actually go talk to them. So if you have a concern, if you have something you want to participate, don't be shy. Go see a head of these other agencies. Go see your senator. And as a matter of fact, I know the governor and lieutenant governor always looks forward to hearing from private citizens who want to step up, who want to rise up and to deal with the many issues confronting our island today.
So here we are in Mangilao, actually Laddie Heights, Mangilao, and we're here to show you this 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. It's a beautiful house, quiet and serene neighborhood. Come on, I'll show you the details. Come on.
This cozy abode stands at the edge of 2 streets in this neighborhood, providing lots of parking space, not only for homeowners but also for their many guests. And with lots of space in the backyard, your home would be a go-to spot for family gatherings or barbecues. Now, let's venture the house itself. The living room almost acts as the heart of this house, connecting the backyard and the hallways of the kitchen and bedrooms to each other. The kitchen has what most need: fridge, cabinets, stove, and countertop. A great addition to the kitchen is its self-closing cabinet doors. The kitchen is also connected to the washer and dryer of the house. So if you accidentally get stuff on your clothes while cooking, just toss it right in. The second hallway leads to the bedrooms and bathrooms. Some cabinets line the walls of the hallway as we progress downwards to the 3rd bedroom, and at the hall's end, the master bedroom. All in all, this Laddie Heights Mangilao home presents a homely feel like no other.
So guess what? This is the last house, the 3rd house of our tour, and this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and we're here in Jigo, and this is a beautiful house. This is a corner lot. It's gated, got a lot of privacy, and we have security cameras. Great, but let's go take a tour.
Out of the 3 places we visited today, this house has the most unique design, internally and externally. The outside of the house is surrounded by a metal cement fusion wall and a metal gate at its opening. Not only that, but the land space is great. It's enough for the kids or pets to run around and play in, or to host quite the awesome barbecue party. As we make our way into the house, you'll notice that it has 2 entries, one within its garage and another to its side with a path leading to it. Each door opens to a different part of the house. The door in the garage gives you a direction path to the kitchen, as well as the washer and dryer hidden behind 2 wooden sliding doors. The kitchen cuts a path between the two doors and is quite spacious with cabinets on both sides of it, and the usual suspects one would find. The pathway doors acts as the de facto main entrance as it opens to the living room, kitchen, and bedrooms. Walking straight ahead from this door, you'll enter the living room with its cathedral slanted high-top roof with two windows at its high end, flooding light into the house. Lastly, the back of the living room leads to a sliding door that opens to the house's backyard. The house has a second, more defined hallway with two rooms at its end and a bathroom and second bedroom in its middle. Both bedrooms near the hallway's entrance are simple in design, very warm and welcoming. Both share a bathroom down the hall. There's a wooden door that leads to the master bedroom, which is decked out with tons of closet space near its hallway door and its furthest wall. And, like most master bedrooms, it has its very own private bathroom. It even has its very own sliding door that leads to the living room. From its elegant, unique, internal and external design to its generous living space, this Jigo house is a steal. If you're interested in any of the homes featured in this episode, please call us at 647-3725 or call me, Ellie, at 682-8986. Again, I'm Ellie from Remax Realty Group. Thank you for watching.
And that's all for this episode of Welcome Home. We'd like to thank the people from the Sea Grant program for educating us about their program and ways to protect our ocean's wildlife. Thank you to Director Tyrone Taitano, Dr. Romina King, as well as a team from the Pacific Islands Environment Conference for educating us on ways to strive for sustainability. We'd also like to thank Ellie from Remax Realty Group for showcasing those beautiful homes for rent or purchase. And finally, we appreciate you for tuning in to this episode of Welcome Home. I'm Ayana Shed. Until next time, adios.